being above board by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet, and phone. Log on visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTA. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world. NTA Tuesday Live, analytical, in-depth, educative, and interactive.
It enters my house to window level, so I packed hard.
Nature takes its course. Men flee floods in Benue, Jigawa, and other parts of the country. Raise cascade of complaints, tears, and worry.
The average crude oil price, we all know, has been growing in the crude oil market.
If we're able to get more revenue from the agencies, the deficit will reduce.
Federal government proposes 19.76 trillion naira expenditure for 2023. Old friend, new friend, a tale of musical chairs in Kano politics. Good evening, it's nice to have you join us on the Network News. I'm Naja'atu Tijani. Michael Olaloye is standing by in the Center of Excellence in Lagos. This broadcast is also being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live and YouTube. You can also follow all our social media handles displayed on the screen for more updates. Let's begin with the expansion of security cooperation between Africa and Japan. Within the framework of the new approach for peace and stability, Nigeria and other African countries are expected to benefit from Japanese technology towards eliminating insurgency. Speaking in Tunis at the Tokyo International Conference on African Development Summit, Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, says various security mechanisms supported by the African Union, such as the Multinational Joint Task Force, the G5 Sahel, and the African Standby Force, need to be recalibrated to meet up with the current challenges against terrorism and banditry. Onyema believes that the TCAD partnership is another platform for engagement in addressing global problems in health, climate change and economy, and gives assurance of Nigeria's full support for the objectives of the summit and other multilateral platforms. The Japan External Trade Organization JETRO, the Japan International Cooperation Agency JICA, the United Nations Development Programme and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, have launched a new partnership to enhance trade and investment between Japanese and African private sector businesses. This is on the margins of the 8th Tokyo International Conference on African Development in Tunis, Tunisia. Justin Ben-Onye reports.
Supporting Africa in becoming an increasingly important business partner is said to be essential for sustainable development at a time when foreign direct investment in 2021 reached a record $83 billion, a 2.1-fold increase from about $39 billion in 2020. And now, Chairman and CEO of JETRO says the expanded partnership between four key partners, JICA, UNDP, and UNIDO, will enable them to enhance their contribution to Africa's sustainable development path. As a global leader in information and digital technologies, The partners agreed to work together to strengthen links between small and medium enterprises in Africa with Japanese technologies and business know-how. Other areas of cooperation include regular dialogues, consultations, and joint communications, as well as advocacy activities.
The shaping of digital ecosystems, which are not just a matter of connectivity, fiber optic cables, and access to apps, but indeed to create an inclusive economy in which those who traditionally would not have been the first ones to benefit.
UNIDO says it is eager to join forces with 3 strong and committed partners at a time when Africa, like all countries in the world, need to urgently rethink their industrialization approach towards greener and more inclusive growth at a time of growing climate and economic shocks. This new collaboration builds on the achievements of the tripartite partnership between JICA, JETRO, and UNDP, which was signed at TICAD 7 in Yokohama, Japan in 2019. Justin Benumi, NTA News.
Now, for partnership on a global scale, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is asking for the end of testing of nuclear weapons, consigning them to history once and for all. This comes during the annual observance of the International Day Against Nuclear Tests, which also calls for global unity to end nuclear weapons, which should have no place in our world. Justin Ben-Unye again reports.
As we near the end of the 25th anniversary year of the CTBT, we can choose our future. We can choose to end nuclear testing. It is within our power to ensure that future generations never know the devastation of a nuclear weapon.
Nuclear testing has had tragic consequences for humans, the environment, and all forms of life. Since nuclear weapons testing began on 16th July 1945, over 2,000 have taken place. In the early days of nuclear testing, little consideration was given to its devastating effects on human life, let alone the dangers of nuclear fallout from atmospheric tests. Consequently, on 2nd December 2009, the 64th session of the United Nations General Assembly declared 29th August the International Day Against Nuclear Tests.
The significance of this day is to have a global voice calling on banning of nuclear tests in a way that the global community will have either total elimination or at least reduction in nuclear tests that give rise to nuclear weapons.
As the world marks the day again, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has considered that now is the time to bring into full force the treaty that entails a complete ban on nuclear testing. And Nigeria is also lending her voice to the call for global unity to end the use of this lethal weapon of mass destruction.
Nigeria, luckily enough, we have signed those treaties, ratified those treaties, and agreed that we will not have nuclear weapons. But the most important thing is that in the whole of African country, we came together as Africans to say that we want to have an Africa that is free of nuclear weapons. And therefore, we have the Plindaba Treaty, which Nigeria is a champion in ensuring that the Plindaba Treaty come into force.
The treaty, which came into force in 1970, has so far been ratified by 191 countries. Justin Ben-Unye, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Committee of Pro-Chancellors of State-Owned Universities, COPSIN, has reacted to a pronouncement by ASU President Professor Victor Osodiki, where he describes some state-owned universities which have resumed academic activities as, quote, irrelevant and quack institutions, end of quote. The Secretary-General of the committee, Marcus Arobifa, in a statement, notes that ASU membership is voluntary and COPSIN is not oblivious to the fact that state universities cannot be forced or coerced to implement agreements reached between the federal government and its workers in universities to which they are not parties. It also believes that ASU's approach to the issue of funding of tertiary education in a modern globalized world is archaic and impractical anywhere in the world. CAPSIN therefore advises ASU to work with all stakeholders to bring back students to campuses after 6 months of insensitive closure, calling for the immediate democratization of the university union membership to give freedom to any individual to join a union. The federal government is proposing a sum of 19.76 trillion naira expenditure for 2023. The Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, made this known during an engagement with the House of Representatives Committee on Finance for an overview of the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper 2023 to 2025 submitted to the National Assembly for approval. National Assembly correspondent Lani Ali reports.
The 2023 to 2025 MTEF, like others before it, contains federal government spending plans, and it helps ensure that budgets reflect social and economic priorities. The Finance Minister reeled out projected figures for the period, including budget performance for 2022, which she says is being negatively affected by both local and international events, an example of which is the daily oil production output, down from 1.6 million barrels to 1.3 million barrels per day.
The average crude oil price, we all know, has been growing in the crude oil market, and this is supposed to have been an advantage to us, seeing as our budget was fixed at 73 and we have an average of 103. However, the higher oil price is offset by lower oil production output, which as at April stood at 1.32, and even up to July is still averaging the same. NNPC attributes this fall in production to the high incidence of crude oil theft and pipeline vandalization.
This, she says, is why in 2023, 80 billion naira will be provided for pipeline security and maintenance to enable the country to meet up projected daily crude oil production of 1.69 million barrels per day at $70 per barrel on an exchange rate of 435.57 naira to the dollar and a GDP growth rate of 3.75%. Due to the extension of the subsidy regime to June 2023, which will go up 3.3 trillion naira, the projected deficit is 11.3 trillion naira for 2023.
If we're able to get more revenue from the agencies, the deficit will reduce. The security of our oil equipment, nature of the terrain where our oil pipelines are, there is the need for them to deploy incentive mechanism. Most countries, they are looking for ways to stimulate their economy. What do we have in place for ordinary Nigerian?
Other revenue-generating and monitoring agencies, as the hearing, are Office of the Accountant General, the Fiscal Responsibility Commission, Nigeria Customs Service, the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Civil Defense, Federal Road Safety Corps, and Federal Inland Revenue Services. More agencies will appear before the committee as the engagement continues towards achieving accountability, transparency, and efficiency in the handling of government funds. From the National Assembly, Lani Ali, NTA News.
Still on finances, key players in the judicial sector across the country are in Abuja brainstorming on ways of sustaining financial integrity in the sector. The National Workshop on Management of Judicial Financial Resources is at the instance of the National Judicial Institute and is aimed at making the judiciary more efficient in the performance of duties. Dele Atumbi reports.
This is the convergence of the support staff in the judiciary, who are the managers of its financial resources. For speedy dispensation of justice, the management of the judicial resources is key to ensure the maintenance of law and order. Participants are exploring ways of strengthening financial integrity of the judiciary with the aim of evolving global best practices on propriety in the sector. They agreed that financial integrity connotes absence of corruption and waste in the management of its resources. As the arm of government that interprets the law and dispenses justice, the judiciary is poised to ensuring effective judicial accounting.
As resource managers in the judiciary, we must keep abreast of current trends
in the financial sector in an effort to curb corruption and waste. And in so doing, enhance transparency in your day-to-day activities in the judiciary. Consequently, you should avoid all appearances of inferiority and live above board. Doing other will negatively affect the integrity of the judiciary.
At the end of the national workshop, participants are expected to imbibe professional standards of accounting and auditing of the judicial resources. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
On the political scene, a few months after defecting from the All Progressives Congress to the New Nigeria People's Party, the senator representing Kano Central District at the National Assembly, Malam Ibrahim Shekarau, has rejoined the People's Democratic Party. Mohammed Ali reports that until this defection, Senator Shekarau was the senatorial candidate of the NNPP in his constituency.
Defection has over the years become a prominent feature of politics in Kano State, as political heavyweights continue to crisscross party borders in search of convenience and expediency. Malam Ibrahim Shekarau, who just 3 months ago joined the NNPP from APC, now formally rejoins People's Democratic Party (PDP). Party stalwarts at the reception promised to work together with Shekarau to achieve the desired goal come 2023. The reception witnessed presidential candidates of PDP, Atiku Abubakar, former Vice President Nimad Sambo, past and present governors of PDP, members of the National Assembly, Board of Trustees, among other defectors. Muhammad Ali, NTA News.
You're still watching the news at 9 on the network service of the NTA. Do stay with us for more reports after this timeout.
Every day, life presents hopes, dreams, and challenges. Challenges that can become successes with a little help. Because a little help can empower you to go from despair to celebration. A little help can keep you going until the race is won. A little help can turn bundles of anxiety into a bundle of joy. And with Glow Data, you get much more than just a little help. You get the biggest data deals in town to make every day glow with small wins and big wins. Dial star 777 and select your Glow Data plan. The Federal Ministry of Health and National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, in collaboration with partners, are commencing vaccination of children from 6 weeks of age against diarrhea caused by rotavirus from 22nd August 2022. The first dose of rota vaccine should be given to children at 6 weeks of age, second dose at 10 weeks, and a third dose at 14 weeks for full protection against diarrhea. The virus can cause severe watery diarrhea, vomiting, fever, and abdominal pain. Children who get diarrhea can become dehydrated and may need to be hospitalized. Caregivers with children under 1 year should visit the nearest health facility in their community to have their children vaccinated with 3 doses of oral Rota vaccine. Protect your child now with Rota and other vaccines against childhood killer diseases. Rota vaccine and all other vaccines are safe, effective, and free. For further inquiries, call 0700-220-1122. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency with support from partners.
Get into this beautiful pasta. Chicken soup, juicy looking prawns. Thank you. Icy fishes, yeah. If you're in Lagos, you need to check out this place. It's beautiful. It's going on my bowl, but you guys have to see this. Thanks. I'm just trying to give you good content.
Get your gigabyte data plus 1 hour YouTube free on Airtel Super Binge plan. Dial star 141 star 514 hash now. Airtel, smartphone network. Hey, His Excellency Yesom Ezewawike CON, GSSRS US Africa, Governor of River State, cordially invites the general public to the commissioning of land reclamation, shore protection, road network, drains, power station, water reticulation and housing complex at parcels A and B of the Abuja Valley Sandfield area along the eastern bypass in Port Harcourt. The commissioning will be performed by His Excellency Lawrence Ifeanyi Iguain, Governor of Enugu State, on Tuesday, 30th August 2022 at 11 a.m. All invitees must adhere to COVID-19 protocol. You're welcome, Your Excellency, and all invited guests. Announcer Kelvin Ebiri, Special Assistant on Media to the Governor of River State.
He's a very tough guy who knocks out every opponent, but now he's been knocked down by malaria.
Amatem soft gel.
Amatem soft gel makes treating malaria easy. Amatem soft gel is a great treatment.
I'm a phone subject. I do take about malaria for body.
For adults and children, say no to malaria, yes to life.
I didn't look for medicine for that administrator. Wake up, make sense, wake up for me. Every time when somebody go enter the matter, when it's time to deliver. No. You got to show them to protect you. Point of
700,000 satisfied members and enjoy the premium experience of our offices across the 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Call 094615-700-704 to make the switch today. Premium pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
Thanks for staying tuned. The federal government's food intervention program continues across the country with distribution of bags of grain to vulnerable Nigerians in Gombe State. Nafisa Umar Garba reports.
Various groups, including leaders of people living with disabilities, received the over 8,200 bags of assorted food grains for onward distribution to their members, courtesy of the federal government's radical approach to eliminating hunger among vulnerable Nigerians. Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ibrahim Ali Pantami, who presided over the food distribution, explained that the Buhari administration is not unmindful of the difficulties associated with the current economic realities which necessitated the food intervention.
We have given them a writing and there is a form attached to it. They may wish to document whatever they do. Our own responsibility is conveyed to them and we have no doubt about their integrity and their uprightness.
Group representatives appreciated the federal government for having the common man at heart. They strongly believe the food items will go a long way in reducing the sufferings of the vulnerable.
At the same time, commend the minister who thought thoroughly about his people.
Extend our appreciation to President Buhari through the Honorable Minister who has taken his time to plead on behalf and get us this assorted food.
We will ensure equitable distribution of these food items to communities living with disabilities.
A fiscal challenge.
The intervention is to be replicated in all states of the country. Nafisa Umar Garba, NTA News.
The continuous downpour spanning several days has destroyed public and private utilities in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. Moses Ajamu-Ude reports.
The downpour in Makurdi metropolis rendered many families homeless as their houses were submerged in water. Areas flooded due to the torrential rain includes Achusa, Lima, Idie Village, Naka Road, and Judges Quarters Extension. Also, major streets in Makurdi town have been cut off due to the heavy rain.
Few days ago, this place was a dry land, but as you can see now, the situation is now different, as some of the residents are finding it difficult to access their homes.
That time, the water day around that site.
but now the thing just will come. Now by that time when I go my house, I reach here, but before I come back, I reach here.
Other residents appeal to the government to take steps towards tackling the perennial flooding within the state capital.
I think government should come and build the gutters for us, and then build the road also. So maybe it will help us again.
I'm expecting at least they should help us. They should do something about it. Maybe the gutters. Because this one is very, very bad. I remember when I was going to school, I fell. We can't leave our houses now. Where do we want to go and stay?
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, as well as the Benue State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, have continued to send early warning signals to people living around flood-prone areas, especially the banks of the River Benue, to evacuate to several places as the water level keeps rising. In Makurdi, Moses Ajao Ode, NTA News.
Still on flooding, the Ministry of Works is appealing to motorists plying the Old Kano-Maiduguri Federal Highway from the northeast to the northwest to exercise patience while finding alternative routes to their destination, as the repairs of the collapsed Birnin-Kudu Bridge have been delayed until the flood water levels subside. Mohammed Askira reports.
There has been torrential rain since the beginning of the month of August in this part of the country, a situation that continues to wreak more havoc on residential, farmlands and public infrastructure in Jigawa State. Commuters plying Kano to Kari Road now have to take longer alternative roads to reach their destinations as two bridges collapsed due to heavy flooding from the rivers.
You can see the crowd. People have been cut off from their farms, and utmost concern is that patients from across the collapsed bridge can no longer have access to federal medical center Birnin-Kudu.
The Controller Federal Minister of Works in Jigawa State on assessments of the collapsed Birnin-Kudu Bridge says the torrential rains will not allow for accurate assessment and repair of the bridge for now.
For now, there is nothing we can do. Only to erect warning sign wherever and directional sign at important locations so that we can warn all the motorists coming from Kano axis or from Bauchi axis to inform them that this road is collapsed and there is no way. They have to find alternative.
Meanwhile, some of the state alternative roads are also threatened as the flood left them almost impassable. This came as residents of Kamel village along Bote Kano Road were completely displaced by the flood. Hundreds of the displaced now take a refuge at schools and filling stations in the area. Destruction of houses and farmlands continue in Ringim and other local government areas in the state as the downpour continues, with government and public-spirited individuals beginning to reach out to victims with relief materials. From Bote, Muhammad Askira, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Rivers State Government has flagged off the construction of Emeka internal roads. The move is part of measures to check perennial flooding and improve the condition of roads in Emeka for the motoring public. Governor Nyesom Wike flagged off the project, which is expected to be completed within 5 months. Ogedi Nyekwiri reports.
It's a homecoming for Governor Nyesom Wike. Emeka people came out in mass to welcome the governor and his entourage to the community he once called home. Governor Wike says his life story cannot be complete without Emeka community. The governor says he had his secondary school education in Emeka and was first sponsored into politics by an Emeka son, which makes him indebted to Emeka people. Governor Wike also promised to give a facelift to his alma mater, Government Secondary School Emeka, and upgrade the chieftaincy stool of the community.
Employ the community was there and guide them along. And you see, with the support in it, to the finish these projects, even before the time they are given.
Emeka internal roads accumulate to 5.3 kilometers and are expected to be built with proper drains to avert the perennial flooding experienced in some parts of the community. Emeka, Obia local government area of Rivers State. Ogedi Nyekwe, NTA News.
Building public confidence in the armed forces of Nigeria and national reorientation for national security are part of issues raised at the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies Executive Course 44. NTA and the Gang reports.
The lecture series is part of activities marking this year's Security and Defense Week. The papers titled Strengthening Local Governance in Nigeria's Security and Defense Architecture and Strengthening Local Governance in Nigeria, the Role of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, presented by the Minister of Defense represented and the Chief of Defense Staff, emphasized the need for enhanced synergy among security agencies and the need for Nigerians to own the efforts of government at national security.
Periodically, we've had to conduct workshops and seminars to make everyone within the security governance structure for them to know what must be done, what they have done, what they need to escalate, what may not be too good, and which they need to work on.
When you are trying to mobilize the entire nation, to have a buy-in, to show concern and contribute their quotas in the efforts the country is making to deal with the security challenges we are facing, the local government level is very crucial.
The Director General News says local governance is key to security, requiring a collective effort.
We want our participants to know the importance and the priority that security and defense must have in any policy that we are going to come up with.
The theme for the Senior Executive Course 44 is strengthening local governance, challenges, options, and opportunities. Undanyan and the Abuja, NTA News.
The Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Ghali Baba, has condemned the recent trend of assault on police officers and men in uniform carrying out official duties in various locations across the nation. In a statement, the IGP warns that further attacks on police officers and men in the line of duty will no longer be tolerated under whatever guise, as the force holds the lives of its personnel sacrosanct. Consequently, the IGP directs all police commands and formations to ensure that individuals who engage in assault on police officers are made to face the full wrath of the law. Let's now join Michael in Lagos for more on the news. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Najatu. As climate change continues to impact negatively on global food production, Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has performed a groundbreaking ceremony to establish the largest central food security hub in the country. Musa Tolia reports that the project, targeted at boosting agricultural food value chain, is sited in Epe, Lagos.
The Lagos State Food Security Systems and Central Logistics Hub, sited on 12.2 million square meters of vast land, is one of the cardinal components of the 5-year agricultural roadmap launched by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in April 2021. The objective of the project, which will be implemented in 2 phases, is to achieve synergy in all food systems from production to processing, distribution, and preservation in agricultural value chain. When completed, the Central Food Hub is designed to provide storage facilities for more than 1,000 truckloads of farm produce per day, create wealth for more than 5 million people, feed more than 10 million Lagos residents, and guarantee steady food supplies for at least 90 days. The development of the all-important food hub is a collaboration between the Lagos State government and the private sector through a design, build, finance, operate, and transfer model.
Actually suffered the issue of loss of produce. With this grand opening of this ceremony, we have a market where we push our produce to. We have a clustered market where we can obtain our produce. What we are seeing here today will bring more development into this area, especially the economic value of this vicinity.
The project is targeted at enhancing the level of self-sufficiency in food production in the state from the current 18% to 40%. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
There is a wave of change channeled towards upscaling the standards of Nigerian products with a view to making them acceptable on the regional stage and becoming product specifications for the African Continental Free Trade Area. The initiative is capitalizing on information sharing that will get rid of fake products for genuine ones to take over the space and thrive.
In the face of inflationary pressure, scarcity of forex and multiple taxation, the manufacturing industry in Nigeria has one more enemy to contend with. The heap of these fake products comes scary reality, leading to apprehension among business owners like Bukola Adubi, as huge amounts of their profits is stashed in the hands of fake manufacturers.
This is affecting our legacy, it is affecting our brands, it is affecting our bottom line.
The concern here is how to increase competitiveness in the face of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, while also giving impetus to Nigerian manufacturers to explore the single market quickly and profitably. Stakeholders say since standardization is the key and heart of profitability, collaboration with the regulatory agency will enable local manufacturers to take possession of their business environments.
Whichever country has the best standard on any particular area, on any particular product, that standard should be the African standard. And anybody who wants to participate in the African market must be able to meet that standard.
Beyond its responsibility of assisting businesses to thrive through various standardization and quality assurance, the Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, has consistently stressed that its role has become indispensable due to the dangers fake products pose to economic growth and national prosperity.
Standards are the biggest sellers of your products. And when you have certification based on your standards, then everybody buying your product will be comfortable to buy something because they know they are genuine.
This platform has, however, consummated a relationship between production and standardization, a move which both parties say will help to scale up productivity and acceptance of Nigerian products beyond the AFCFTA.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.nga/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages. The news continues shortly. Please stay.
Committed to the unity of our great country, Nigeria. Let us support our armed forces. Let us stand together with them. Let us stand for them. Our symbol of unity, the gallant men and women of the armed forces on land and sea, who have continuously put their life on the line, protecting our lives, humanity, and nation. Let us join them and stick together as one, irrespective of our misunderstanding, be it political, cultural, or ideological. Our uniqueness, our oneness, our strength, and our diversity.
Let us stand by, stand with, and support our forces to keep this nation together.
Nigeria is my own. Nigeria is your own. Nigeria is our own.
Vitafilm is proudly Nigerian and constantly support Nigerians with consistent quality products, comfort and well-being. With Vitafilm, you don't just sleep, it gives you the comfort that gets you recharged. Vitafilm, the fine art of sleeping.
When you wake up in the morning, before you start your day,
For work and for play, for a great start to your day.
Always start our day with a nourishing Kellogg's breakfast, powered with the goodness of grains and 11 essential vitamins and minerals. Kellogg's makes a great tasting breakfast for all of us.
Obi, what exactly are you dodging? COVID now. You are very funny. Is this how you have been dodging every cough and sneeze?
Yes, my guy. The thing got serious.
Have you taken your COVID-19 vaccine?
Leave that matter for Matthias. I have heard plenty things like
Beggy, I have taken my complete dose of the vaccine, and as you can see, I am okay.
Why you come still dey wear mask?
To protect everyone from getting the virus, it's good to dey practice the protective measures as the vaccine work now to stop you from dying from the COVID-19 infection.
This your explanation makes sense.
Go and get your COVID-19 vaccine. It is available in most public health centers and some approved private hospitals.
COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Protect yourself and loved one. Take the vaccine. Stay alive. Let us all celebrate safely and responsibly. Obi the Dodger. I beg you. I'm going to get vaccinated now.
This message is from the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Regulation, NCDC, NPHCDA, and partners.
All I do is win. I wake up, I win. I close my eyes, and I win. Keep up on me, come on.
Wow, you look great. Did you just come from the tower? Darling superstar, great that takes a long fish, no matter what.
Sunlight makes things easier, so you can do more. When you become more, you inspire others to be more too. Sunlight is here to support you as you reach for more success. Sunlight, more than you expect.
Join us to stop crude oil and product theft at production sites, on the pipeline, at terminals, at the depots, on vessels, at refineries. Help stop crude oil and product theft. Report infringements to www.stopcrudetheft.com. You can also validate genuine purchase at validate.stopcrudetheft.com. Please report and be rewarded. This message is from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NTA.
Thanks for staying tuned. We're talking the rights of older persons now, and the United Nations Independent Expert on the Enjoyment of All Human Rights by Older Persons, Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights in Geneva, Dr. Claudia Mala, is in Nigeria to assess the implementation of national, regional and international standards relevant to the rights of older persons. Ruth Aguele has details of the first day of the UN assignment in Abuja.
It is projected that Nigeria will record about 28.8 million older persons by 2050, as part of efforts to address the plights and protect the rights of older persons in the country. The National Senior Citizen Center was established. To find out how well the nation has fared so far, the United Nations Independent Expert on the Enjoyment of All Human Rights of Older Persons, Dr. Claudia Mala, is on a visit to Nigeria to assess mechanisms and processes put in place in strengthening the protection of the rights of older persons. The first step was the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to strengthen partnership in the protection of the rights of older persons to meet global standards. The top priority.
We take the issues of human rights very seriously in our country.
Financial constraints faced by older persons has to be streamlined, and a stop at the Ministry of Budget and Planning was strategic.
The government of Nigeria is strongly committed to the plight of older persons.
The call on the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs was apt to get an overview of Nigeria's interventions in protecting the rights of older persons.
let me reiterate Nigeria's commitment to support any process, including cross-regional, intersectional meetings of like-minded member states to move forward the Convention on the Rights of All Persons, to strengthen human rights, to improve quality of life.
We still are at the awareness raising level that older persons are left behind. We need not only to support them, but to give them space to be the advocates for themselves and also to advocate for their conclusion and independent living.
It is expected that the synergies established with inputs from various agencies will help strengthen structures already in place for sustainable inclusion of all the persons in the development process of the country. In Abuja, Bruce Aguala, NTA News.
Thank you, Ruth. Older persons deserve all the respect and care they can get. Now to business news. Oil rises on prospect of OPEC plus supply cut as investors lose 2.91 billion naira in the equities market. Let's get details with Musa Abubakar.
Thank you, Naja. There's data from the Nigeria interbank settlement system showed that the growth recorded across the various e-payment channels remained strong in the past 7 months of 2022. To this end, the Central Bank of Nigeria is urging individuals and businesses to take advantage of the cheap, safe and trusted means of payments provided by the e-Naira to facilitate transaction.
Our platform is resilient, innovative, offers an inclusive payment system. Some of the expected benefits arising from the adoption of the e-Naira include deepening financial inclusion, improving the efficiency of payments, enhancing cross-border payments and remittances, improving trade integration, a viable option for the distribution of stimulus and government intervention, and improved transmission of monetary policy.
Oil rose on Monday as potential OPEC plus output cuts and conflict in Libya helped offset a strong US dollar and a dire outlook for US growth. CNBC reports that Brent crude rose 21 cents to $101.20 a barrel, extending last week's 4.4% gain. US West Texas Intermediate crude was up 48 cents at $93.54 after rising by 2.5% last week. Now to capital market. Trading on the Nigerian equities market is starting the week on a negative note with a total turnover of 232.9 million units of securities. The NGX all-share index depreciated by 0.01% at 49,676.75 basis points. Market capitalization dropped to 26.7 trillion naira. Investors traded 232.9 million shares in 4,425 deals valued at 2.18 billion naira. The financial services industry dominated the activity chart with Jaiz Bank, Access Holding PLC and the FBN Holding. That's business news. Naja, back to you.
Thank you, Musa. The Tier 4 Galaxy Backbone Data Center located in Kano State has been completed as part of the federal government's drive towards enhancing data collection and promoting digital transformation in the country. Elizabeth Yila reports that the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantani, who visited the facility, declared it ready for inauguration.
The National Information and Communications Technology Infrastructure Backbone, NICTIP2 Tier 4 Data Center, is meant to provide the much-needed ICT services to both the private and public sectors. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantani, says the facility will boost revenue generation, provide quality services to the citizenry, and give support to security institutions when the need arises.
So what we are doing in our sector is to sanitize the system and provide facilities for security institutions to leverage on and be successful in curtailing security challenges in Nigeria. We have done that effectively. What remains is for them to utilize.
All the citizens of Nigeria are bound to also enjoy the services of this particular data center, in terms of providing connectivity services, in terms of providing even the nationalized email platforms and many other kind of things.
The facility is well equipped with the state-of-the-art equipment and a well-guarded data center, which is to serve as the regional office of Galaxy Backbone Limited. In Kano, Elizabeth Yila, NTA News.
It's time for another break. Stay tuned for more reports.
Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep, tom-tom cooling breath.
When we wanted to move faster and see more of the world, we found a way. We also found ways to connect beyond boundaries. When an unprecedented pandemic tried to derail us, we found ways to get ahead.
Are we ready?
Ready.
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 As your bank, we have stayed proactive, creating dynamic solutions and leveraging cutting-edge technology to drive global expansion into new markets. We rolled up our sleeves to be human together, doing more, innovating smarter, and always showing up for you. So come on board, let's give you more.
When you wake up in the morning, before you start your day, forward and to play for a great start to your day. Always start our day with a nourishing Kellogg's breakfast, powered with the goodness of grains and 11 essential vitamins and minerals. Kellogg's makes a great tasting breakfast for all of us.
It's been a long day, and nothing could feel better than sleeping comfortably. So relax. You won't be bothered by leakage or irritation tonight. Huggies Dry Comfort has a super fast dry layer that quickly absorbs wetness for all-night dryness and comfort. So baby can wake up comfy and dry as the night before. And you keep doing great, Mom.
Now in a new look pack, available from 650 Naira.
It's better. More nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. No kidding us. That's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic, and enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the secret. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate. Join us to stop crude oil and product theft at production sites, on the pipeline, at terminals, at the depots, on vessels, at refineries. Help stop crude oil and product theft. Report infringement to www.stopcrudetheft.com. You can also validate genuine projects at validate.stopcrudetheft.com. Please report and be rewarded. This message is from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company.
Welcome, Grace. You've got places to be, and this chump has forgotten something, but he must trust you, leaving you with his basket. Time to take matters into your own hands. You have that papaya. Now, make a mess of it.
It's your time to win big with the OLB bumper promotion. Buy an OLB pack for a chance to win 1 million naira. Yes, 1 million naira. 3 winners every month. Buy any pack of OLB, write your name and phone number on the empty pack, submit to any of our designated centers, and stand a chance to win 1 million naira. The OLB bumper promotion will run from 12th of August to 12th of November 2022. Visit our social media pages for more information. Buy OLB today and start winning. Terms and conditions apply.
Introducing Good Night Power Shots Multi-Insect Killer. Fast action and great fragrance. Spray 2 shots each in 4 corners of the room. Stop mosquitoes without stopping family moments. Good Night Power Shots. Stay inside, stay inside. Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
You're always running around. Keeping up with you needs a comforting touch from Huggies with the right stretch for how much you move. Huggies pants come to befit baby's tummy. Their 360-degree comfort fit waistband makes them easy to open and pull off and on. So baby can keep on exploring and you keep doing great, Mom.
Now in a new look pack.
A barter village, which will open opportunities for content producers and distributors in television to exchange content, is a unique feature of the first ever Nigerian Electronic Media Content Exhibition Award holding in Lagos. Amaka Uru reports that the 3-day event is in partnership with several industry giants, including the Nigerian Television Authority and the National Broadcasting Commission.
And private television stations, numbering up to 150 and more than 350 independent producers in several channels. The leadership of the Nigerian Electronic Media Content Exhibition and Awards say it has become imperative for collaboration and exchange of ideas around content. Representative of the Minister of Information say there is need to tap into the potential in content creation. Acting Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority said that the Broadcast Media House provided the necessary platform through quality drama and TV programs that dates back to the days of Cockerel at Dawn, as content contributes to the nation's GDP.
And based on the statistics, we all understand how much the industry today is contributing to the GDP of this country. And of course, those are some of the things that we want to identify ourselves in the NTA.
At this point, it is appropriate to juxtapose this trend with the ongoing establishment of broadcasting in Nigeria through the digital solution by DSO.
Other major partners emphasize the need to focus on improving children content to curb infiltration of foreign content in the Nigerian media space. Representatives from the Z World are also present as they are set to partner their African counterparts. There was a tour of various exhibition stands in Lagos. Amaka Olu, NTA News.
Just before we close, it has come to the notice of the Nigerian Television Authority that one Jama Life investment platform has been using the name of the authority on Facebook to advertise a certain business investment that is fraudulently claiming to yield 300% interest within 45 minutes. NTA wishes to categorically dissociate itself from the so-called Jama Life investment platform and warn the public to stay clear of such a fraudulent online offer. NTA's mandate does not include such. Even its subsidiaries which engage in other activities do not use NTA's logo, as they have theirs to indicate who and what they are. Once again, NTA is dissociating itself from the fraudulent Jama Life investment platform and advises the public to ignore it. And that concludes the news at this hour. Thanks for watching. I'm Najaa Atutijani.